tool of choice. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. This is your show, America. Thank you for joining us. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Merry Christmas to you. We're so glad you're here. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Ken is with us in San Diego. Hi, Ken. How are you?
Hi, Dave. How are you?
Better than I deserve, sir. How can I help?
Well, I've been listening to your show for quite some time now, and you always say to do what you find is your passion, and I've kind of fell into that at 56, and that's small laptop computer and desktop repair. I've been tinkering around with it now for a couple months, helping friends and referrals and this, that, and the other, but my wife and I really want to make it a business, and I need some guidance on how to do that.
Okay. So you just a little bit of dinking and dunking on it, but nothing where you've really said, okay, here's what I charge, and I have business cards, and I'm going to try to turn this into a little part-time side business. You haven't gone that far yet.
No, I was actually asked about business cards, and we've considered it, but it's just something, I mean, obviously, you know, if you don't try something, you can't fail. If you try something and don't fail, then you've succeeded. Yeah. We are leaning toward that, but we don't want to jump in and sink a bunch of money into it and then be depressed and upset because we're not making any kind of money whatsoever.
Yeah, so don't jump in and sink a bunch of money into it. Business cards aren't exactly a lot of money. But do go ahead and spend some time and some sweat equity and some hustle and grind, and let's lay down and say, okay, this is what we charge. We now offer this as a service. It's official. We are in business. We now own Ken's Computer Repair, or whatever the flip we're going to call it. We're going to open a checking account in that name, Ken's Computer Repair, or Ken so-and-so, DBA, doing business as Ken's Computer Repair, or whatever the name is, and a Social Security number. You don't have to get a tax ID number. All the money from this business goes in, that it makes goes into that account. Only expenses come out of that account unless you're taking some money out of that account to take it home. But you don't buy groceries out of that account, and you don't put money into that account. You make it make money. Then you go say, okay, sweat equity, man. I'm going to go talk to some people, and those people who you repaired their computers the other day, you call them up and say, hey, dude, I just repaired your computer. Who else do you know? I'm trying to get a little more business like that. Would you help me out? And you can call a couple people. You can call some small business people. You can drop by on your lunch hour at your regular business. Keep your day job and work like nights and weekends and days off and vacation days to grow the thing. And just hustle and grind, hustle and grind. That, for a small business, you're going to serve small businesses. You're going to serve a large business that has its own IT department. They don't need you. But small businesses and individuals who have computers that they can't make them work, or they broke them, or they filled them with viruses, or they did whatever they're going to do, they're going to love you. And they're going to spread the word like crazy if you just ask them to spread the word. This is all about hustle. You don't need to spend any money.
Right, and that's what I've been doing. The few I've repaired, I've actually gotten some referrals because once a week I call them up and say, you know, how's the computer working? Do you have anyone, friends, family, relatives? And, you know, I have gotten a couple referrals, but again, at the first of the year, we're getting ready to go on vacation. But at the first of the year, we really want to jump into this, and hopefully a year from now, we're a little further down the road than we are.
Yeah, absolutely. But all I'm saying is just literally take your lunch hour and go from business to business. Just walk down the street, literally, physically. Or with emails or whatever, but just everything in your area. Go to, join the Chamber of Commerce and spread your business cards, because most businesses are not big businesses. There are a lot more small businesses than there are big businesses, and they're the ones that need you. It's a huge market. Most business. I mean, the local Subway guy, he may need somebody to help him fix his PC, you know? I know Subway's a big name, but they don't have an IT staff that goes from franchisee to franchisee on their personal PCs. And so you literally walk down the street, talk to the people that are massage therapists, and the people that are own a jewelry store, and the people, I mean, whether they're retail, business to business, or business to consumer facing, it doesn't matter. There's a bazillion people out there that need your help. Drop an ad on Craigslist. Get out there and start popping stuff on Facebook and popping stuff on Twitter, just good informational things, and see if somebody answers your questions, or tell them you're willing to answer questions. If you got any questions about PCs or whatever, jump into forums and start poking around, local forums, not national ones. You don't want to fool with fixing a computer halfway across the country, but just start hustling, man, and just spreading the word. And it's more than just milking the 4 customers you got. It's all about hustle. It's not going to cost you a thing to build this. You're gonna have more business just off your hustle than you're gonna know what to do with. You do need business cards. You need a little website you've built for yourself, so people can find you. That's got a couple of testimonials on it and a little bit of schedule of your fees and the way you charge out on this kind of stuff. But man, just keep it really simple, clean, and it's all about you. You do not need to buy ads somewhere. Do not buy ads. I wouldn't spend a dime if I were you. It's not going to, you can do it. Hang on, I'm going to have Kelly send you a copy of the book Entree Leadership, which is how we've grown this business from a card table in my living room to 528 team members this week and a major national brand. How did we do that? What's our playbook look like? Well, we're going to give you a copy of it and show you what we did. And it's just what I was talking about. It's hustle and grind, man. That's what it is. Damien is with us in Colorado Springs. Hi, Damien. How are you?
Hey, Dave. How you doing today?
Better than I deserve, man. Merry Christmas. How can I help?
Well, Merry Christmas to you, too. I have got a question for you. We're on baby steps 4, 5, and 6. Mm-hmm. And as we max out our Roth, the Roth IRA, is it better, I'm trying to do the math, and is it better to do a 401k or just put it in the regular mutual funds? My reasoning is mutual funds, if I just did regular funds outside of retirement, I'm only subject to capital gains, whereas I'm subject to the tax rate, whatever it's going to be, and I believe it's going to go up when I retire in about 20 years. So what's the best way of doing that? I know you usually
but
say...
in a traditional 401k, it's after-tax dollars going in.
Correct.
I mean, before-tax dollars.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Before tax. Yeah.
So you're saving the taxes on all those dollars, and that's not in your calculation.
Okay.
In other words, if you take $10,000 and bring it home to put it in mutual funds, it's going to look a lot like $6,000 or $7,000 by the time it gets home.
Gotcha.
And so you can't compare that apples to apples, that 10 with 10 putting into mutual funds, because it's before tax or after tax. So that's why we would have you do that. But you're right. Once you've maxed out all traditional 401ks, Roth 401ks, or Roth IRAs, once you've maxed out all tax-protected things, then you do want to look at something that has a capital gains basis to it, like a low-turnover mutual fund. I've got a lot invested in that myself, but it's after I've maxed out the stuff I can max out, including my HSA, 401ks, backdoor Roth IRAs in my case, those kinds of things. And so I want to take advantage of every bit of that I can, but then I've got still more to invest. Do I put that in a variable annuity? No, I don't. I use low turnover mutual funds because of what you're talking about. Thanks for the call. This is the Dave Ramsey Show.
Attention seniors on Medicare, business owners, and those about to retire. If you aren't listening to Safe Money Talk with Wrigley Weg, then you aren't getting the whole truth about your money and how to protect it from the erosive forces all around you. Turn into Safe Money Talk with Wrigley Weg every Tuesday starting at 6 p.m. on Kcaa.
Hi, I'm Dr. Anissa McNeil. I do the work and I tell the stories of foster youth. Join me Mondays at 3 p.m. on Kcaa 1050 AM, the station that leaves no listener behind.
I literally started my business on a card table in my living room. In those days, I was the one responsible for keeping track of my expenses. And if I wanted my family to eat, I had to make sure the money was coming in. I was a true entrepreneur. Nowadays, I know there's a better way. It's called FreshBooks, and I'm a big fan of what they do. FreshBooks is an online software and mobile app that allows you to track your time, capture expenses, and create professional invoices. It's easy and it works. Find out what over 5 million entrepreneurs and small business owners just like you have already discovered. You can try it free today at getfreshbooks.com. Just enter the Dave Ramsey Show under How Did You Hear About Us for your free 30-day trial. That's getfreshbooks.com. And remember, enter the Dave Ramsey Show to get started today.
This is KCAA.
And now it's time for another Support San Bernardino Spotlight.
Hi, my name is George Hahn. I am the Senior Minister at the Center for Spiritual Living Inland Empire. In the next few weeks, we would like to support San Bernardino by highlighting the outstanding things about our city. Today's program features Reverend Irma Forward.
We are the Center for Spiritual Living Inland Empire, teaching science of mind, a spiritual philosophy which empowers the individual to express creatively and to live a successful life. We practice affirmative prayer based on the teachings of Ernest Holmes. Sunday services begin at 10 a.m. During the week, we offer classes as an adjunct to Sunday services. These classes present a basic idea for successful living. On Saturday, December 5th, there is a family Christmas concert featuring renowned guitarist Rob Reynolds and family. On December 21st, there is a candlelight service with traditional holiday music. Julie Edwards Matanga will lead the Christmas bells. We look forward to serving you and meeting your spiritual needs.
Thank you, Reverend Irma. This program was underwritten by Center for Spiritual Living Inland Empire. If you would like information about today's program, please contact me, Reverend George, by calling 909-883-7171. That's 909-883-7171.
Kcaa. Did you know Cover California can help you find a low-cost quality health care plan that's absolutely right for you and your family? Did you know there's coverage for unexpected emergencies and everyday aches and pains? Did you know free preventative care like blood pressure and cholesterol screenings are also provided to stop small problems from getting bigger? Well, now you know.
Covered California. It's more than just health care. It's life care. Visit CoveredCA.com to find free, local, in-person help or enroll online by December 15th to have coverage by January 1st.
KCAA 1050 AM and 106.5 FM are pleased to announce the brand new edition of The Stephanie Miller Show, right here weekdays, Monday through Friday at 4 p.m.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's The Stephanie Miller Show.
Join Stephanie every weekday for her fun humor and snappy wit. The perfect antidote to cantankerous, grumpy old conservatives. Stephanie Miller makes weekdays fun at 4 p.m. right here on KCAA 1050 AM and 106.5 FM.
This is the Dave Ramsey Show. Our question of the day comes from Blinds.com. The new year is around the corner, and you'll want a fresh start. That's a great reason to buy cellular shades from Blinds.com. Cellular shades give you a lift for your windows, and they'll lower your energy bills, too. No better way to start the new year. Go to Blinds.com and get started. Sean is in Indiana, says, we are pregnant with our third child. We've learned that the baby has an issue that will be fatal. Heartbreaking. My main concerns are that of the mental and spiritual health of my family. And my next concern is that of the financial impact. The baby will be delivered cesarean, so we'll have a lot of out-of-pocket with the hospital. We'll then have the costs with how we choose to lay her to rest. I have a good emergency fund and, all in all, a pretty good financial health. Is there any advice on how we can plan for some of the burden ahead? Sean, I'm so sorry. What a horrible thing to face. You know, I found when I'm walking in these situations with folks, and I have sadly over the years lots of different similar things, that on the financial side of the equation, and you do have this right, the mental and spiritual health of your family is the primary concern. Financial is down the list, but they all affect each other. What I tell folks on the financial side is very simple. Pile up cash. The bigger the pile of cash, the less you have to think about money. And the less you have to think about money, the more you can concentrate on the things that matter. And money's not one of them. But that's what money does. It's a tool that gives you, it's a buffer between you and the pain, not because money makes the pain not be there, but because you don't have double pain. You don't have to worry about the cost of laying the baby to rest, or the cost of making sure your wife gets proper medical care, or the cost of ... fill in the blank. When you don't have to worry about that, then you can worry about what's really important. which is not any of those things. The cost is not the important part. The important part is you and your wife and your kids and the situation. So I'm just going to stop spending any money and say there's storm clouds on the horizon. I need a bigger umbrella. And I've got to batten down the hatches, so to speak. And that means pile up cash, pile up cash, pile up cash, pile up cash. So that when we walk through this, if the prognosis is correct, and I pray it's not, but if the prognosis is correct, the cash is, your gears are just grinding. There's just a lot of friction in your life. There's a lot of heat, and this is just oil. Cash is just oil over the gears. It makes it run smooth. Makes you be able to not have to decide. You don't have to fret and go making decisions based on money. So the bigger the pile of cash you can have, the easier on the less of the financial part you'll have to think about, and the more you can concentrate on what matters. For the rest of you that are listening to me answer that, here's the equation, okay? Just think about it for a second. Let's go. If you take some of this advice and you say, let's take it to a bizarre level, and then then it allows you to see what I'm talking about. Let's say that family had $2,000 cash, which they have more than that because he said he had his emergency fund. But let's say you're facing something and you have $2,000 cash and you've got $10,000 or $20,000 worth of expenses. Then let's change the number. Instead of $2,000 cash, let's say you've got $200,000 cash. And you have $20,000 or $30,000 worth of expenses. You see what I mean? Instantly you go, well, I wouldn't think about it. Exactly. That's my point. You wouldn't have to think about it. Now, I'm not suggesting he has two, and I'm not suggesting he's going to have 200 either. But that's one of the things that building wealth does for you and for your family is it allows you to concentrate on things that do matter. We spend a lot of our lives concentrating on things that really don't matter around the subject of money because money becomes our master in that sense. And Jesus said it's tough to serve two masters, like impossible. So P.T. Barnum, who's an interesting character, by the way, side note, if you've never read some of the stuff about him, Barnum and Bailey Circus, right? And he was known as being a great promoter. He was also known as being a great businessman. And a very interesting read when you read some of the stuff about him. He wasn't just some kind of a character or shyster or carnival barker or whatever you call it. He wasn't, charge of the circus. Circus was part of what he did. But he said money is a fabulous slave and a horrible master. And I think that's kind of what Jesus was talking about when he said you can't serve two masters. So having a pile of cash to face life's hardest moments, it doesn't make the hardest moment go away, and the money's not important. Not saying that at all. It just gives you options, and you don't have to think about the stuff that doesn't matter. And that comes down to I don't have to think about paying my light bill, so I can think about stuff that really matters. I don't have to think about keeping gas in my car, so I can think about stuff that really matters. I was thinking about that the other day. I stopped and filled up my car with gas, which was a mistake in the middle of all the Christmas traffic around this mall that we're sitting next to in this office. It's like you can't drive around this place. But anyway, and I was filling up the car. And I thought to myself, I remember, I hadn't thought about it in years, how many times I go to the gas station and I'm thinking, how much gas can I put in my car? How much money do I have? All the way back to college when gas was like, I don't know, it was $1 or something a gallon or less than that, 78 cents a gallon or something like that when I was in college 100 years ago. And I'm trying to scrape together, nickels and quarters and stuff out of the couch and going through the cushions trying to get enough to put 2 gallons in the car to get to college that week. And how long it has been since I've thought about what gas costs. And what I was laughing to myself about was how much my life has changed, because I remember not having to be able to put gas in the car, and I'm thinking about, okay, I'm going to put $5 in, that'll get me the end of the week. I'm going to put $10 in, that'll get me the end of the week. I'm going to put $15 in. And the number of times I have pulled up to a gas pump and not filled the car up in the past 10 years is 0. 100% of the time in the past 10 years that I pull up, I fill it up completely. And I was just laughing to myself. It's a little change, but it's just because that no longer is something I worry about. because I've been living like no one else, and now I'm able to live and give like no one else. And I could turn around and if I thought to do it, and if I saw somebody that needed it, I would, and pay for somebody's gas right there at the pump. Somebody was struggling, look over and see somebody that looks like they need a tank of gas to get somewhere. And it wouldn't change my life. It wouldn't be like, oh, see, I just, now I can't pay the light bill Tuesday because I was generous. Your generosity changes. Your ability to be generous changes. And sometimes if you just scale things a little bit in your mind, and that can give you hope or a way or a direction, it'll outline the principle for you as to what you're doing. And that means, what would I give if I had $500,000 in my mutual funds? And I had $50,000 in an emergency fund. And I ran into X, Y, or Z situation. What kind of a tip would I leave for the valet or the waiter or the waitress? The guy that brought the pizza? How would I think differently if I didn't have to worry about money? See, that's what we're talking about every day on the show. It's not that money is the answer, but that it changes your life when you don't have to think about it anymore. You don't have to think about it. What car you drive, or you don't have to think about it anymore. Because you thought about it, you're going to live like no one else. You're going to pay a price to win. You're going to hustle and grind, baby. You're going to live like no one else, so that later you can live and give like no one else. The Bible says no discipline seems pleasant at the time, but it yields a harvest of righteousness. This is the Dave Ramsey Show.
Hosting the KCAA Loma Linda at 106.5 FM, K293CF Moreno Valley.
Here's the latest. I'm Nick Bovey. President Obama says coalition forces are hitting ISIS targets in Syria and Iraq harder than ever. Obama claims his anti-ISIS strategy is moving forward with a great sense of urgency on multiple levels. Obama's remarks come after he hosted a high-level meeting at the Pentagon. Closing arguments are underway in the trial for the first of 6 Baltimore police officers charged in the death of Freddie Gray. The prosecution and defense have presented arguments over the last few weeks in the case of Officer William Porter. The defense rested its case on Friday. All leave has been canceled for police this week in preparation for possible protests or unrest following a verdict in the trial. And what could be the biggest premiere in Hollywood history is just a few hours away. Star Wars The Force Awakens premieres tonight for VIP audiences at 3 theaters. One of those movie houses is the iconic TCL Chinese Theater, where the original Star Wars premiered in 1977. The nearby El Capitan Theater and the Dolby Theater are also hosting special premieres tonight. You're listening to the latest from 24/7 News.
It's time for the KCAA Community Calendar, brought to you exclusively by Learn for Life, a growing network of public charter schools. The clear mission of Learn for Life is to motivate and mentor students who have dropped out of school and provide them with the personalized education and technical training necessary to advance their lives.
From the KCAA Community Calendar, I'm Mark Westwood. Everyone's talking about the Third Thursdays in San Bernardino. Rediscover the city of San Bernardino Third Thursday Food Truck Fest. Switch up your lunchtime routine. Try the gourmet food trucks every third Thursday from 11:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. at the Court Street parking lot between E and D Streets in downtown San Bernardino. Enjoy delicious, tasty food from the food trucks such as the Slam and Sliders food truck, Farmer's Belly, the Bacon Mania truck, Piaggio on Wheels, or the Greasy Wiener. All kinds of mouth-watering delights, hot off the truck, and plenty to eat. Put an end to dull, boring fast food and truck on over to City Hall in San Bernardino for the Third Thursday Food Truck Fest in downtown San Bernardino. For more info, check out Rediscover San Bernardino's Facebook page at facebook.com/SB Third Thursdays. That's SBTHIRD Thursdays. That's a look at the KCAA Community Calendar. I'm Mark Westwood.
KCAA Community Calendar is presented exclusively by Learn for Life, a growing network of public charter schools where students can complete their education on a part-time basis. To find a resource center nearest you, call 1-877-360-LEARN or visit Learn for Life online at learn4life.org. Are you particular about the vitamins and supplements you take? Have you found that the big chain stores simply don't have what you need? Then you should know about the Vitamin Center of Agora Hills. You'll find rock-bottom prices on gourmet, top-quality vitamins and mineral supplements at the Vitamin Center. Get 30% off on all supplements and homeopathic products. All, not just selected merchandise. In addition, you'll find 30% off on all cosmetics, soaps, shampoos, toothpaste, makeup, hair coloring, and lip gloss. And all tea products are discounted 20%. Why go anywhere else? See for yourself at the Vitamin Center of Agora Hills, or check out the savings and place your order online. VitaminCenterAgoraHills.com. Start saving by getting what you need from the Vitamin Center of Agora Hills. And tell a friend that the Vitamin Center ships nationwide. Call 818-707-0005. That's 818-707-0005. The Vitamin Center of Agora Hills.
Like to spend a few days in another world? Then write this down. Golden Bear Cottages, Big Bear Lake. Now, listen, this is not some corporate-owned operation. It's family-owned and operated by some real nice people. Unique? Oh, you bet. Golden Bear Cottages features 28 one-of-a-kind cabins on a 5-acre historic site. Great for families, couples, and groups. And cabins are available with 1 to 7 bedrooms. Golden Bear Cottages is just a stone's throw from Big Bear Lake and super close to 3 great ski areas. Now, I could go on all day about Golden Bear Cottages in Big Bear, but to see everything, just go to goldenbear.net. Again, goldenbear.net. Golden Bear Cottages in Big Bear. Clean, comfortable, and affordable. Check them out. goldenbear.net.
From the Kcaa Weather Center, I'm Tom Ladd. For this afternoon, it'll be sunny. Expect a high near 52. Clear tonight with a low of 39. It'll be sunny Tuesday at a high near 56. Clear Tuesday night with a low near 39. Sunny Wednesday at a high near 57. Wednesday night clear with a low of 40. And the outlook for Thursday, it'll be sunny. Expect a high near 63 degrees. That's your weather forecast for this hour from the station that leaves no listener behind, NBC News Radio, AM 1050, KCAA.
KCAA invites you to join Dr. Donald Gabriel Jolly for What's It All About? He's never without words.
I have an opinion about everything.
He talks about everything.
You can say, I love you, and be fired by the power of the crotch instead of the real meaning of love. You have an illness. It is called terminal acute hornitis.
Join Dr. Jolly for What's It All About? 3 o'clock Wednesday afternoon on KCAA 1050 AM.
In the lobby of Ramsey Solutions, Jerry and Shanae are with us. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Dave.
Where are you guys from?
Saratoga Springs, Utah.
Which is near?
Salt Lake City.
Very cool. Good. Welcome. Good to have you in Nashville. So you're here to do your debt-free scream in person.
Yes, we are.
I love it. How much have you paid off?
We paid off $130,000.
Awesome. And how long did that take?
About 4 years.
Making what kind of money?
We started at about $40,000. This year we're looking at about $130,000.
Goodness. Well, describe what happened and the difference in income.
Well, we pretty much worked our butts off and looked for any way possible to increase our income. And it's kind of funny, the more, the better you manage your money, the more money you end up having to manage.
That's just this odd thing, isn't it?
It's kind of weird how it works.
So your careers have obviously shot up through the roof.
Yeah.
What do you guys do for a living?
I'm a software developer.
There we go.
And I'm a mortgage loan processor.
There we go. That's how it works. So what kind of debt was the $130,000?
We paid off all our cards, a car, and the house, Dave.
The house!
Paid off the house.
You guys paid off your house. How old are you?
29.
And 25.
What's this house worth?
Probably about 200.
Unbelievable. You're so weird.
Yep.
We love being weird, Dave.
I love it. That is awesome. Very cool. 4 years later, you don't have a payment in the world.
Nope.
How does that feel?
Feels great. It's very freeing to not have to, worry about making that house payment. We'll have a lot more money to play with, a lot more money to give.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's we've worked so hard to get to this point. Now we're just so excited to see what's going to come next and what we can do.
The amount of investing you can do and the outrageous generosity you can engage in is going to be, you're only 20-something years old. This is awesome! And your house is paid for! So tell me what happened 4 years ago. You're 21 years old when you started this.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, and 25. So tell me what happened 4 years ago. Tell me about the journey and what's the story here.
It pretty much started with me just flipping through radio shows on my way home from work, and I kind of heard your show, and I thought it was pretty interesting, the unconventional yet common sense advice of, don't buy things you can't afford. I was like, you know what, he's probably onto something. But Shanae was never really that big into talk radio, so she was a little bit harder of a sell. I kind of had to pitch it to her as like, hey, you got to listen to Dave's response here on this person who went $200,000 into debt to get a degree in German polka history. And anytime pretty much that you would call someone a doofus, she'd just bust out into laughter.
That's my favorite.
And it's just the cutest thing. So I kind of pitched it as an entertainment show, but then it's like, hey, let's stick around for the actual financial advice.
Yeah, Jerry's the smartest person I know. And so when he started telling me about it, I knew it would work, and I just couldn't wait to get started.
Wow. So how long have you all been married?
6 years.
Yeah.
6 years. So 2 years into your marriage, you look up, you've got credit cards, car debt, a house debt, and you're making $40,000 something a year, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And you start this plan.
Being normal.
And you start this plan. So the first time you decide, okay, this is it. We're really doing it. And we sit down, and you're sitting there at the kitchen table, and you did the first budget.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Shanae, Jerry, she seems like she's real pleasant, and she's smiling, and she's kind and calm. But did y'all have like any really good budget fights?
You know what? When you're on the same page, there aren't really that many big blowout fights. We had a few disagreements.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe recently she wants to get a $40 Christmas wreath or a tree skirt. And I'm kind of like, well, I don't
Jerry,
know.
shut up. Your house is paid for. Buy the girl a Christmas wreath. What's wrong with you?
We will get a Christmas wreath when we get home now.
Jeez. What are we going to do with him?
It's true, though. We've been so blessed to be able to work together so well and be consistently on the same page that we really didn't have any big blowout fights or anything like that. We just said, this is our goal. This is what we have to do to get there. Let's just do it and enjoy it.
Yeah.
We made a goal. We stuck to it. And here we are. This was always the end goal, is to come here in person, and we just couldn't be happier to be here.
Well, we're certainly honored to have you. You are young rock stars, without a doubt.
Thank you.
And you are sickeningly pleasant. But yeah, it's awesome. You guys are great. I bet y'all didn't fight. Sharon and I are hillbillies. We just fight. So, man, congratulations, you guys. This is absolutely incredible. You're sitting there in a $200,000 paid-for house. It took you 4 years to do this. So how many people made fun of you while you were on this trek?
Oh, it's always kind of a struggle. Everybody wants to go out all the time, or, why don't you have a bigger house, or, get the bigger car that you can afford. But I've been in the same car for 13 years now. We pretty much just stuck to the budget, stuck to the plan.
What do you drive?
I drive a 2003 Hyundai.
Okay. All right. And so now you're making $130,000 a year, and you don't have a payment in the world. And
No payments.
You're going to save up and buy a better car.
There will be a better car in the future. That's for sure.
So what are you thinking of? What kind of car?
I don't know. We haven't even got that far, honestly. We're just taking it one step at a time.
Well, you're not a car guy then, because a car guy would have already had all this figured out.
That's true. He's not really. But.
Yeah, you're probably looking at some kind of piece of Apple hardware of some kind, aren't you?
Oh, I am a big gadget guy.
Yeah, there we go. Okay.
If there's one drawback. It's my addiction to gadgets. So.
Okay. All right. Good. Well, congratulations, you guys.
Thank you.
Very proud of you. It's an honor to meet you. And thank you for coming all the way to Nashville to do this.
Thanks for having us.
It's an incredible thing. So, and the cookies are free. So
yes.
Here and here. So
we don't have to fight about the price of a cookie.
That's right. That's right. And, you can have that wreath right there if you want it. I'll get another one. That's great. I love it. You guys are awesome. All right, Jerry and Shanae, Salt Lake City, $130,000 paid off at 25 and 29 years old. House and everything. In 4 years, they started out making 40. Now they make 130. Turns out when you manage money, God gives you more to manage. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1.
We're debt-free! I love that. Absolutely awesome. Man, that's fun. Well done, you guys. Excellent job. Sharon is with us in Gainesville, Florida. Hi, Sharon. How are you?
Hi, I'm better than I deserve. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you. How can I help?
My question is on retirement.
Okay.
I am a 46-year-old college professor that makes about $45,000 a year. My husband is 64 years old, retired, and between Social Security and GM, he makes about $40,000 a year.
Okay.
We have one paid-for rental that brings in about $8,000, so not much. Total, we make about $92,000 a year.
Yeah.
Since my husband is retired, would I calculate his income into the retirement savings?
Is your home paid for?
We owe $11,000 on our home.
Okay. When are you paying it off?
I plan on having that done within a year.
Well, Lord, you ought to do it faster than that.
Yeah,
okay.
We should. Once Christmas is over with and we start really buckling down and looking at that budget again, we should be able to knock that out real quick.
You have your emergency fund in place?
$20,000, yes.
Excellent. Do you have any money that's non-retirement money saved?
We do. We probably have about $40,000 in non-retirement.
Okay. So go ahead and write a check and pay your house off.
Okay.
And out of that. And then the house is debt-free. Now we look at retirement. Now, anything you guys can put money into retirement on keeps the government's hands off of it. That's the way I'm looking at it, more than I'm worried about retirement. And so I'd do a couple of Roth IRAs and max out your 401ks. Regardless of your ages and stuff. We're just trying to keep the government's hands off the money. So definitely do 2 catch-up Roth IRAs. That's $13,000 a year. You can do one for him, even if he doesn't have an earned income, a spousal IRA. And at your age, you're allowed to do $6,500. And then I'm going to max out your 401k. And that's all just because it's a good way to save money and keep the government's hands off of it. So, and it sets you up in good stead.
KCAA 1050 AM and 106.5 FM are pleased to announce the brand new edition of The Stephanie Miller Show. Right here weekdays, Monday through Friday at 4 p.m.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's The Stephanie Miller Show.
Join Stephanie every weekday for her fun humor and snappy wit. The perfect antidote to cantankerous, grumpy old conservatives. Stephanie Miller makes weekdays fun at 4 p.m. right here on KCAA 1050 AM and 106.5 FM.
Our free reports are packed with great information and advice. In fact, they've been requested by over 60,000 customers. Home buyers will want to get buying your first home, or what every home buyer must know. Those interested in refinancing should get our refinancing handbook. Call Churchill Mortgage today or visit us online to discover why we're the only mortgage company Dave Ramsey has ever endorsed.
This is KCAA.
Hey Mom, how'd you like to forget having to work like crazy just to make someone else rich?
Earn great money from home so you can have the freedom to be the mom you want to be.
I'm a single mom, and when I found this opportunity, I was able to make $1,200 part-time my first month, fire my boss, and now work from home full-time around my kids.
Get free information from the Moms Business Network today. Just go to income16.com to learn how. Income16.com. You can start earning great money as soon as next week. Income16.com.
Music Changing Lives, Kcaa, and Daniels Jewelers are working together to make Christmas brighter for thousands of children in the Inland Empire. Random Act of Kindness is a toy drive orchestrated by Music Changing Lives, and Kcaa is a collection station. We will be collecting gifts until December 22nd, Monday through Friday, 8 till 5. If you bring by a gift for a child worth $15 or more, you'll get a $50 off coupon card from Daniels Jewelers. Drop off your $15 donation at Kcaa, located at 254 Carousel Mall in San Bernardino. For more information, call Di Rice, that's me, at 909-885-8502. Again, 909-885-8502. Music Changing Lives, Daniels Jewelers, and Kcaa 1050 AM and 106.5 FM. Thank you.
America. We're so glad you're with us. I hope you've checked out the 12 deals of Christmas over at DaveRamsey.com. This is the best time of year to get incredible savings on all of our best products. And I said the 12 deals of Christmas. You didn't hear me wrong. We've been offering 12 of our best deals all year on some of our best things. So today is deal number 11. That's right. And it just launched this morning. It's the Legacy Journey DVD Home Study Kit for only $129. That is 44% off the regular price. Now, this is 7 lessons of a biblically based study program that teaches you about wealth. I usually teach about money. The Legacy Journey class and the book is about wealth, not about money. There's a difference. It's about generosity, and it's about leaving your family tree completely changed for generations. This price is only good for 24 hours, $129, 44% off, Legacy Journey DVD Home Study Kit. So check it out. Deal number 11. Go to DaveRamsey.com, or you can always sign up for Dave's Deals, and anytime there's a deal, Dave's Deals newsletter will let you know. That's how it works. Janetta is with us in Milwaukee. Hi, Janetta. How are you?
Hi, Dave. Good. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
I had a question for you. I am a single employee for an insurance agent, and she has contributed for me to a SEP account, a variable annuity. And my question is, should I cash out the variable annuity to pay off my mortgage? That is the only debt I have remaining.
Now, the problem is if you cash out a SEP account, it has a penalty.
Correct.
It's just like cashing out an IRA. Plus, you're going to get penalized on the cashing out the annuity early with surrender charges. So, no. You're going to end up losing over half the money with penalties, taxes, and surrender charges on everything. I'd leave it alone.
Okay.
But,
right.
It's just like, would I cash out a retirement account to pay off your house early? No. Not unless it was to avoid a foreclosure. We always leave retirement accounts alone. Lisa is with us in Phoenix, Arizona. Hi, Lisa. How are you?
Hi, good. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Well, I'm calling because I'm in a situation. My husband has a car that basically almost got repoed because we weren't making payments. We had some health issues, medical debts, and he had to go on disability. So, long story short, we had to get something really fast with not so great credit. So our income got cut more than in half, but our bills remained the same. So we were in a tight spot for a while. We emptied out our 401k and everything else. So he had to take a title loan out. Are you familiar with what that is? I'm sure.
God, yes.
So it's kind of been a nightmare. It was about a year ago this happened. The car is worth more than, what's owed on it. We only owe $5,000. The car is worth actually about $15,000, which is great, but he won't sell it.
I can't help you then.
I know, right?
Because he's too stupid to help.
Yeah, he won't listen to me. He won't help out. This is only pride and joy. He loves it. He can't get into anything else.
Yeah.
Which I understand that. We can't get into anything else because...
But listen, if you guys keep making desperate, and every time I'm desperate, Lisa, you know what I do? Every time I'm desperate, I do stupid stuff. And you guys have been going for... In this one conversation, you told me like 4 dumb things you've done. And I'm not picking on you, but it's because he's playing the desperate card, and this. What is the nature of his disability?
A mini stroke.
How old is he?
57.
How's his recovery from the mini stroke?
He's still a little foggy. It's been about 3 years. He's never been the same. I don't know if he ever will be, but he's also had 5 back surgeries.
Is he struggling mentally?
Yeah, he forgets things and stuff like that. He also had 5 back surgeries, so he is in a lot of pain often.
I have a friend that's had 6 back surgeries, and he's not struggling mentally. He would know he had to sell this car. But if your husband's foggy from this, then that's a medical condition, and I won't be quite so hard on him. But he still has to allow you to make decisions to keep from destroying your family.
Yep.
But title pawning anything says that you're desperate. And you got into this car out of another one that was a desperate move.
Yeah, the loan was... Unfortunately, the other loan was great. It was a normal, 7%
And we've
interest.
gone from desperate to desperate to desperate to desperate decision. And we've got to quit making desperate decisions or you're going to end up completely broke your whole life. And I had to quit doing it. It was killing me, Lisa. And this is killing you guys financially. So what you're telling me is you're so desperate and you're so broke that you title pawned a car title for $5,000 on a $15,000 car. You're going to lose a $15,000 car for $5,000. That's crazy. You got to sell it and get a $10,000 car and pay cash for it and never do this crap again. Ever.
I agree.
Ever. But if you can't get him to sell it, I can't help you because that's what you got to do. And he's got to start allowing you to make decisions if he's not capable. And so you may need to sit down with him, with your pastor, with a good marriage counselor, with his doctor, and say, Bubba, you're foggy. You're killing us over here in the fog. And it's not okay for you to play the little boy card. It's my pride and joy. You're 57 freaking years old. It's time to be a grown-up. Your family is in jeopardy because of your medical condition. And you have got to make some very wise, careful, and hard decisions for the good of your family. Somebody's got to tell this guy this, Lisa. And because I can't tell you how to do smart stuff, and you go home and say, well, he won't let me do it. Well, I can't help you then. He's got to do it. And you guys got to do it. Haley is with us in Salt Lake City. Hi, Haley. How are you?
Hi, Dave. It's absolute honor to speak with you today. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
I'm actually going to be seeing you in Salt Lake City May 11th, so I'm really excited.
Great.
My question is right now my husband and I are separated. We are trying to reconcile. And ever since the separation, I decided to change my life drastically, and one of them was actually finding out about you, and so I'm on baby step 2 right now.
Good for you.
And but we are currently in an argument. My husband is an accountant, and we've never really been very good with money. He tried, but I just never really understood it. And he doesn't believe that having 0 debt is is the only way to be. He says that some debt is good and that it raises your net worth and produces a cash flow. And
well, the actual research would argue with his theory that he learned in class and has no practical facts to prove it out. Because basically you're sitting there broke, he's sitting there broke.
Yes.
And so his theory obviously doesn't work. Maybe he needs a new theory.
Maybe, and he says he won't listen to me until I can understand.
Well, because he's so freaking arrogant about how to handle money, and he's a broke accountant. That's what's the problem in your marriage. I mean, it's not the debt issue. It's that your vote doesn't count because he's so stinking smart.
He thinks that I don't think he's smart because I've been listening to you for X amount of months, and now I'm all of a sudden expert.
I think he's smart. I think he's intellectually smart. I just don't think he's wise. Because here's the thing, okay? This is kind of like you calling me up and say you call up a personal trainer and going, you know, my husband weighs 450 pounds and he doesn't like your diet program. It's kind of absurd, isn't it?
Yeah.
And so, you know, and your 450-pound husband could be very bright, intellectually speaking, but obviously he doesn't get the opportunity to speak about other people's diet programs when he's broke, in this case, or when he's 450 pounds. You know, I mean, that's how this works. So
how do I get him on board?
You're going to have, what process are you using to reconcile? Are you guys meeting with a marriage counselor?
Yes, we are meeting with a marriage counselor.
Yeah, that's the only place I would discuss it is in front of the marriage counselor.
Okay.
I wouldn't have an argument with him over this. I would. It's part of the way he's handling this subject is part of what's wrong with your marriage. It's not the subject. It's part of what's wrong with your marriage. Oh, and see if you can get him to come with you. I'll give you a free ticket to bring him with you if he wants to come. Hold on. Kelly will give that to you. This is the Dave Ramsey Show.
KCAA AM 1050 and 106.5 is proud to announce that we are a collection station for Random Act of Kindness, an annual toy drive coordinated by Music Changing Lives in Redlands. This year, Random Act of